Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the best team on PvPoke, which is Palkia, Metagross and Primarina. So we have two non-legendary Pokemon here today, and let's take a look at how this team is going to work. Sadly, I don't have the ideal moveset on Palkia because it is impossible to get the ideal moveset on Palkia if you didn't get it directly from a raid. I got, of course, my Palkia from a raid, but I was unlucky because it didn't have its signature move of Spatial Rent. I have here one that has Fire Blast, though, which can come in clutch against Pokemon like the Zacian. Let's take a look at how this team is supposed to be functioning. We have two non-legendary Pokemon, which means this is actually a very kind of affordable team. Palkia has been around so many times, at least in the normal form, plus now as well in the origin form, that you should most likely have this Pokemon already. But even if you don't have it already, I think in 2 weeks we're going to have an event where this one is going to be available for 1 day as well again, where you can raid this Pokemon again. So that is going to be kinda nice as well. So like it's a legendary, at least it has been around for a while. Otherwise, here, why do we have those Pokemon? Metagross is actually rank 3 on PvPoke, I think, in terms of the best Pokemon generally right now. Primarina is mainly here as one of the best anti-Dragon type Pokemon with Charm, Hydro Cannon, and Disarming Voice. And Palkia is here in the lead to just kind of align yourself with it. You kind of want to hit a Fire Blast against the Steel type Pokemon as well, of course, which is not really on how this team was intended to be. You kind of rather want to have Spatial Rent, which does more nice neutral damage. But we see already in the first battle that those non-legendary Pokemon kind of can keep up currently, as you're going to be able to get rid of the opponent's Zacian here with our Metagross, one of the better answers to the Zacian. And in the back is only going to be now the Xerneas, which we should be kind of fine here, as we can even reach another Media Mesh to knock them out with our Metagross. Alright, let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have the Palkia against the Palkia. That's going to be interesting as well, as you're going to have not the ideal moveset. What I usually do in this scenario is I try to catch the move, because I know I am not going to be able to win this matchup anyway, because I don't have any hit that can hit the opponent's Palkia. Both of my moves are double resisted. So it's for me worth it to just kind of get some energy with my Shando Palkia and then swap out into my Metagross most of the times in order to see if I can align myself. In this case, I'm going to go for the Earthquake straight away, because I see that I can't go for 2 Media Meshes, which actually allows me to kind of align myself, because the opponent gave that up for nothing. And this time around, I will go into my Primarina, because I have now only one Pokemon from the opponent, which is the Palkia, which I can now hard counter. There's no hit that they can go for that is going to be able to, do damage against me, but they have the kind of same team in the back here as well. They actually have the exact same team, which is kind of funny. With the Primarina in the back. Here, I make a big mistake though. I sure went for the Hydro Cannon instead of the Disarming Voice in this point, because it's just about trying to get charge moves off January to force shields. And I made a bit of a mistake there, because I would have got to this move one fast move earlier, which could have been kind of nice. But you know what's also kind of nice is actually that they're running the Fire Blast here, because this is only going to be singular resisted, and it's actually going to be able to knock them out here already on the CMP type kinda, and with that we're going to be able to win this mirror matchup. Let's see on how the next opponent is going to play. This is things that I have to say here though for this team. I faced quite a lot of fairy type leads, and that was of course a little bit more difficult for us to deal with. But yeah, Hydro Cannon is coming in now against the Lunala. This is going to allow us to do some stellar damage against the opponent, and we're going to try our best to get to another Hydro Cannon, but we're not going to be able to align ourselves here right now. I could have tried to force a realignment, but I'm not too sure, because I feel like that the Lunala gets the moves a little bit too fast. So here, I'm even going to let this move go. I know it's going to be a Moonblast, but I feel like my only real hope is right now my Metagross, because I know it's good against one Pokemon. It's actually not that bad against the Reshiram either, because we would have access to Earthquake, show in for one more fast move, but the opponent mostly didn't count anyway. So like we are not in a position where we're going to lose guaranteed yet. But we're also not in a great position, because Fusion Flare, they're going to get there faster than we can go for the Earthquake. So we're kind of forced to bait with our Media Mesh. That's definitely something we have to do. But at the end of the day, the opponent catches the move this time around. And my only hope now is that I can catch a Fusion Flare from the opponent. I can go for another charge move here, Media Mesh, which just forces the final shield. And now I have to try to catch the Fusion Flare in order to have a chance of winning this battle. But I can't. The opponent stops out into the Xerneas, and with that, this game is over, because they have that charge move stored. Alright, Palkia against Palkia in the lead. Again, we're gonna have to do the same thing here as well as we did before. Here, for this team, by the way, I feel like there is no clear say-swap. I feel like depending on what you face, it's kind of whatever Pokemon is worse against whatever you face in the lead. For example, in Palkia here, usually you want to stay in with your own Palkia. Usually that is kind of the play that you want to go for. In this case, I don't, because I don't have the right moveset. But for Palkia, I swap out into Metagross. For basically nearly everything else, I would rather go into my Primarina. But let's see here, we're going to be able to align ourselves. And this is actually not that bad, because we have now Energy, which is going to be helpful against that Lunala. We have Alignment, and we still have even Energy on our lead, which is going to be that Palkia here, where we can now go ahead and go for the, I won't say Aqua Tail spam, but they're going to go into the Xerneas now. I can go for another Aqua Tail here. That's just to kind of, lower the opponent's stats a little bit, and I can go for a Fire Blast. And that is a risky play, but it works out. A goodbye Xerneas. I didn't expect it at all. All their energy kind of went to waste, and I can still go for an Aqua Tail, which kind of makes me hopeful they're still going to be able to win this battle. The only way where I could see that we lose this one is if we don't do enough charm damage now, which might be the case. We're going to use a shield here. At the end of the day, Shadow Ball is the hardest hitting move that they're going to go for anyway, and I need to kind of keep my Primarina healthy. But this play with Fire Blast was amazing from that Palkia, as they can try, I guess, to go for the full farm. Now, if we still survive this, we're going to be able to knock them out with the Primarina, and we can survive it just barely, and we can move on to the next opponent. And this opponent plays a very fun Pokemon, Cresselia. Cresselia actually has insane bulk, and as we don't run Spatial Rent, here is where it really hurts out. Spatial Rent would be definitely the best move kind of to go for right now. Like, Spatial Rent would just two-shot the opponent's Cresselia most likely, and we would be able to kind of even outspeed the opponent towards that. But as they have access to Moonblast, this is actually not really ideal. Moonblast is going to do super effective damage against us, and while they don't have the highest attack stat, look at our HP, they're actually kind of chunking away our health. And we can go for another charge move here with a Aqua Tail coming through, and we're gonna knock out the Cresselia, but they got a shield advantage now, and they have the Zekrom in the back. They still know that I don't have the Spatial Rent, and so I am gonna be able to go for the Aqua Tail and force still the shield, which is fine, but the issue is, energy up Zekrom in the current meta has next to no counter. Like, literally, Zekrom has next to no counter. It's such strong Pokemon, which you see here as well. But I don't know what they have in the bag yet. And so, Fusion Bolt is coming in. I will take one here, and I'm going to stop out now into my Primarina, where of course I have to use a shield. But we have to see what they have in the back. Let's see what they have here. They're going to have in the back the Zekrom. They're sadly not running Dragon Tail. They're running the fast move of Shadow Claw. And with this, we're going to have the Hydro Cannon getting shielded from the opponent, but we don't have shields anymore. And they do it great. Like, they get a ton of energy here, which is the ideal play of playing that. And I would need to get to another charge move here still with my Metagross, which I'm not going to be able to do. So they played it actually really well. And yes, we lost with the #1 team on PvPoke against a Cresselia in the Master League. But the opponent really utilized their very well on how to play the Fusion Bolt users of this meta. Fusion Bolt is a very strong move in this meta that's very difficult to defend against if you don't have perfect alignment at least. And we're going to have here now the Palkia against us, which we can catch the Spatial Rent, which is fine. Palkia seemed to be quite a common lead as well for this team. Aqua Tail is coming through, and we're gonna try our best to reach another charge move here, but they're gonna stop out into the Zamazenta and make a bit of a big mistake, to be fair. I went straight for the Earthquake. I sure went for the bait here now in hindsight, because I'm only gonna be able to reach another Meteor Mesh. I'm not gonna be able to reach anything else. And that is not fantastic. That is going to be very difficult. As we will see here now, we are going to be able to go for a shield, because Close Combat is going to knock us. Like, Close Combat is definitely going to knock us from the Zamazenta. Zamazenta, a very interesting Pokemon. I feel like it's kind of a Pokemon that has a lot of potential in the current meta, as it could have play against some of more the anti-meta Pokemon, like in Yveltal. But in comes their own Primarina. We can go into our own Primarina. I show in for the Aqua Tail before swapping, which would have then allowed me to have a little bit of an advantage in this matchup generally. But as we will see, we're just going to go for the Hydro Cannon spam on both sides. And again, like, I feel like if I went for the Aqua Tail, like, think about it, I would have put them down to Fountain Range. I would have been able to get out of here with the energy. This would have been basically exactly on how much HP they would have had left from that one. But instead, they're going to knock us out. They're going to go into their own Palkia. If I went... No, Aqua Tail would have not done enough damage there. I don't think there was a way of me winning this one. Okay, Xerneas against us in the lead, again, is horrible for ourselves. And again, because we have a Fairy type in the lead, we'd rather sub out into our Say-Sub of Primarina. This is basically the only time where you really want to swap out into the Primarina as well. In comes the Reshiram, that is fine for us, as Reshiram needs to go for 2 charge moves most likely, as they have only Stone Edge as a coverage move, and we do neutral damage against them with both our fast as well as our charge moves, so I'm actually quite happy about this matchup. I could have tried to force alignment, maybe, but I'd rather go ahead and go for the charge move here. And if they shield, I should go actually into my Palkia, which I don't because they don't shield. And they could go back to the Xerneas now, which would be okay for us, because what we have, there's gonna go back into the Xerneas. We have our Steel-type Pokemon. We sadly don't run Bullet Punch, which would have been amazing here now, because they already have a little bit of damage on their Xerneas. Bullet Punch would have been really helpful, but they can go for 2 close combats and actually nearly knock us out here. Like, the first one is coming through. They still have energy stored though on the Xerneas, as far as I see that. And in the bag is going to be the Lunala. Lunala, such a Pokemon that's so worth it currently to build. Like, Lunala is absolutely fantastic right now. And it's not going to be a Pokemon that's going to get nerfed anytime soon either, I think. So, yeah, Lunala with the Shadow Ball boost on it is just such a different Pokemon. It's so much stronger now because you're going to get to his, I think, second Shadow Ball a little bit faster. But you can also store up 2 Shadow Balls for the first time before you've never been able to store up 2 moves on the Lunala. And this is actually such a big game changer. I feel like every Pokemon needs to have a move that's below 50 energy in order to, or like 55 energy below there, just 50 and below, in order to be able to store up 2 moves in matchups where you have like the potential to farm down opponents. Pokemon that I haven't seen in ages is actually the Necrozma, and Necrozma is usually running Outrage, which makes a lot of sense in this meta because Outrage is going to be able to one-shot Dragon-type Pokemon here, but we predict this and we're going to go for the bait here. This was a perfect play. I predicted that the opponent has the covered move of Outrage, but we're also going to be able to get the shield here, and now we can go for the Fire Blast, which is now knocking out the opponent's Necrozma. Bye-bye there, get wrecked, and let's see who's coming in next. It is going to be... we will see very soon. It's going to be their own Palkia. And so I'm kind of forced to stay in here because I want to keep the alignment. I can go for the Awkward Tail here just for a little bit of trolling. Maybe I think I have no... okay, no, I actually showcased all our charge moves already. I was like, maybe I thought I don't have Awkward Tail and just have Space Shore and Fire Blast. But they can go for the Awkward Tail spam here. I don't really care too much about it. They have their own Dialga in the back. And basically because I did go for the nice prediction in the beginning, we are able to now align ourselves correctly. They go for the Roar of Time, resisted damage coming through against us, but I can go for the Media Mesh, and I don't really care too much about what the opponent does here, because 2 Media Meshes should be enough to knock out the Dialga, but also here they decided to use a shield, which now allows me to go for the Earthquake, and so we should be in a good position, right? Kinda, because they can catch the move onto the Palkia. This game is not over, because now they still have the Dialga. I'm not sure if we're gonna get to another charge move here, and it's down to now our Primarina to win the battle. Deciding Voice is coming through. Is this gonna be enough to knock them out here? Let's find out. It is, and we can... never mind. They still survive with 1 HP. We cannot win this battle just right away, but we actually still survive the Iron Hat, and we can move on now to the next opponent. Final battle for today's video, we encountered a Zacian in the lead. I think it's called Zacian, apparently. I would still say Zacian. Like, let me know down below what you think about the name of this Pokemon. Is it Zacian? Is it Zacian? What name is it? But let's take a look here. We're going to have the Awkward Tail coming in, and we are going to be able to go ahead and shield up this move. This is fine. We're going to have the Behemoth Blade coming through, and we're going to try our best to go for a Fire Blast against the opponent here. This is going to now allow us to get that KO against the opponent with a Fire Blast, because they again didn't see it coming. In comes the Zygarde from the opponent, and we can go for the Awkward Tail against them here. This is looking very, very good for us so far, because I can just stay in here, I can just go and get some damage onto them, but I still have my Primarina in the back, which is going to be able to force a great matchup here, but they swap out now into their Palkia, which showcases me I have just 2 good matchups for my Primarina. They have no real answer to this Pokemon anymore, and I can just take those hits here, and I don't really care too much about anything yet at this point. Palkia is coming in here with another charge move. We're going to be able to go for a charge move here against the opponent as well. This is going to be fine. This is going to be the Dissolving Voice. We're going to get the shield from the opponent, and we can now, let the move go. This is going to be the Awkward Tail that's coming through, and we're going to have now the Zygarde coming in as well, which we can still deal with our Metagross. The worst thing here is if they have Earthquake, which they do, or like the worst thing would have been if they have Bulldoze and they get the debuff and then the next one does a little bit more damage. So I let the first move go, and now we can sweep with our Metagross. This team actually was fantastic. 2 non-legendary Pokemon, 1 more affordable legendary Pokemon. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and follow for more. See you then. Bye-bye.